Hello, folks. Welcome to live cardboard number 35. Good to have you all with me here on my final live stream before I go to SD HISCON North in Minneapolis. I imagine the topic for the next live stream will probably be a giant after action report on the whole convention. Before I get going, of course, I encourage everybody to like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to support the channel, become a patron through Ko-Fi. There's details in the video description as well as at pushingcardboard.com. Thanks, of course, to all of you who have become patrons. I really appreciate the support. There's also affiliate links for Cube for Me and Noble Knight, all that good stuff. Well, let's get going. Thanks. Hey, Mike, good to see him, Mike. Mike Berticelli's here tonight. I've been hoping to see him. Good to see you, Mike. Tonight we're going to be talking about Compass Games in a bit, but I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to 2 weeks ago for the live teach and play with Mark Herman on Pacific War. I think that was a lot of fun, and I think it worked really well. We had about 40 people viewing it live, but the videos had over 1,300 downloads already. So there's interest in the topic. It's the same thing really happened with the teach and play with Carl Paradis and his Battle Commander game. So I'm thinking I'll probably do more of these. They seem to be popular. It's interesting that I mean it's just a small bump up in live viewership, but it's a bigger bump up in after the fact. So people are obviously using them as a resource to try and learn the games. Anyway, to that end, I've put a little poll over on Pushing Cardboard. There's a link in the description for the video here, just a poll on if anybody's got ideas that they'd like to see a teach and play done. Jot them down there. I just threw 3 up, but the main thing is there's a line where you can just type your own idea in. Hey, Jonathan Dyer, good to see you. Thomas, Randy Smith, nice to see you. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about Compass Games in a little bit. I have 15 or 20 of them, so really they're a smaller part of my collection than you'd think, given the size of the publisher. You'd think I'd probably have more. I've made a list of what their most popular, what they say their most popular in-stock titles are, as well as the ones I own, and we'll talk about them later. But first a bit of news. Yeah, well, thanks, Christoph. I think that's true. Although I also thought there might be a couple times where playthroughs are possible where perhaps the designer isn't actually available, but there's somebody who's a super fan of the game and they want to talk about that particular game. I know of a few people that are just rabid about certain games, and I bet I could get them to teach it if the designer isn't around to teach it. Okay, on to the news. Press this button. There we go. Okay. First, I just want to mention that the latest episode of my podcast is out, the audio thing, episode number 55. I did an interview with Al Vanoy, who designed the recent Traces of Victory, as well as Solomon's Campaign for World at War magazine, and he did a Bismarck game for, or was it Bismarck? No, maybe it was Bismarck C. Probably Bismarck C, game for War Diary magazine. I haven't seen that one. I've played Traces of Victory and the Solomon's Campaign. It was an interesting interview. It's funny because I'd been reading him for years without actually knowing it, just because I didn't make the connection. I don't read World at War magazine, but he's written a bunch of articles there, but he's also written a ton of articles for War Diary, which I do read all the time. And I just I didn't connect his name as a writer with his name as a designer, and he's a fairly recent designer. So anyway, interesting to talk to him. He was a little shy at the beginning, and then he warms up and that starts to talk. I think it's well worthwhile. And then, of course, I do a deep dive into The Far Seas, a new game from VUCA. I say a new game, but actually it's one of these ones where it's a remake of an old strategy and tactics magazine from 1987. I think the designer is Martin Anderson. Anyway, they've redone it, of course, in beautiful VUCA style, as you might imagine. That's here. Well, there's the beautiful cover and new counters and all that stuff. And then the other thing is Julius Brunken, one of the VUCA guys. He's now listed as co-designer, probably the developer as well. And I don't know if it's just him or him along with the designer. They've made a complete dedicated solo system for this game. So yeah, check it out. It might even be available for order off the VUCA website by now. I'm not sure. It could still be on pre-order. I'm not. They sent me an advance copy, so I could have a look. So thanks to VUCA for that. But anyway, yeah, that's the other part of the episode. And then there's news and scuttlebutt and there's a good little essay at the end about alt history and history and games and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting. It sort of I picked up on something that Mark Johnson had been talking about on his War Games to Go podcast, which is a fantastic podcast if you've never heard it. The only other sort of just news thing is Compass has some. Oh no! Here. Oh sure. Before we get to that, here's just a picture of. The Far Seas, just so you could kind of get a look at, VUCA. If you think of that map, it's like that semi-linen finish. Same with the counters; they're gorgeous. I just wanted to give you a peek. There you go. So still on pre-order, but it's got to be coming out soon. Yeah. Well, anyway, order it when it comes out. I think you like it. It's 2-player. It's not solo. It's like it has a solo mode. It's German cruisers on at the very outbreak of World War I. So there's 8 German cruisers scattered across the globe, and tons of British, French, Russian, and Japanese ships trying to hunt them down and stop them from raiding stations and stealing things, for lack of a better word. A cool game. Anyway. The other thing I wanted to mention is Compass has some sales on. They've got 2 bundles that cost $250 each, where they have 7 or 8 games in each of those bundles, and then they have this monster one, 43 games for $776. I really wonder if anybody's going to bite for that one. I mean, they say you save over $1,600, so you're getting all the games at half price. It looks like, and free shipping if you live in the U.S., which is the shipping is going to be substantial for 43 games. Anyway, the only other news I have a few things on a few new games that are on their way. Rebel Tide from Compass. This is I think this is now available on their website. I think that's why I popped this on tonight. I think that was. I don't think it's still on pre-order. I think you can now order it. This is a CDG quick playing. It's supposed to be like playable in an evening, I think, and it boasts having a political track for foreign Confederate support, and also uses historical leaders with different ratings, of course, that appear totally randomly. So they're not going to keep to any sort of historical schedule. So anyway, Rebel Tide from Compass, who we'll be talking about later. Flying Pig have a strategy guide for 65. That's their tactical Vietnam game. I think there's 65. There's the main 65 game, and I think there's a bunch of there's a few expansions as well. So it'll give you all that. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Great. That's wonderful, because I have both of those on order. I think North Africa 40 is Simonich's sequel to his North Africa game, and Coast Watchers, of course, is the completely new system from Volko, and Volko being Volko, that one's about ready to hit our doorsteps. Draken, his next one on World War One, same system, is pretty much in final stages of playtesting, and he's taken the same system and taken it to Vietnam, and I think Volko's going to be at SD Hiscon. I'm gonna see that that Vietnam version. I think it's called Masher. So we'll see. Yeah, I hear you. That's one you definitely want to have arrive when your spouse is away. No doubt about it. Anyway, other things coming. Germany 45 and Russia 41, both on Kickstarter from Worthington. Dan Forey is the designer of those. I think they've got a bulge game. I can't remember what it's. Roads to the. I can't remember the name. Anyway, he's got a bulge game. It's the same system that he's used for these Russia 41 and Germany 45. And so anyway, these two new ones are on Kickstarter, and I think a reprint of that bulge one. So anyone can get the other one if they hadn't got it already. And then this is another one from Compass. This one is kind of funny. Warriors of America. Terrible title, really. I think it's an American Revolution game. Warriors just doesn't seem to be the right word there, but it uses the Warriors of God system apparently. So that's why Warriors. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they grafted that system on here. I've played Warriors of God really liked it, but it's been a few years. But as I recall it, it covers about 100 years of history instead of like 6 for the American Revolution. So who knows? I don't know how that's going to work. Yeah, sorry, I meant to say prequel, not if I said sequel, I meant prequel. Prequel to North Africa 41 for sure. All right, well that's it. I think that's it for my bits of news. And in terms of new games for me, I've only had a couple in the last week. Cuius Regio. This is a 30 Years War game from Francisco Gradi. I think it's 2-player. I think there's a bunch of scenarios for individual sort of campaigns, and they could probably each be played in 3 to 6 hours, or maybe even less. And then there's a giant. You can put all of them together apparently into a giant campaign, but that'll take forever. I'm really looking forward to this game. Although I have to say, I didn't recognize the Latin phrase Cuius Regio, and I vaguely recognized the double-headed eagle as vaguely Germanic. It's the Habsburgs. I wouldn't, looking at this game on the shelf, I wouldn't have known it was a 30 Years War game, even though it says like the 30 Years War under Cuius Regio. You don't really see it. Yeah, this one would have. I think I might have. I don't know what I would have thought of that cover. It's good looking in one way, but in another way, I have no idea what it's about. So anyway, take that for what it is. Maybe it's just I'm stupid. The other thing that I got was the British Way expansion, Enemy of My Enemy. This actually adds a whole bunch of stuff. It adds a prequel game to 2 of the 2 games that are already in the British Way. So 2 prequel games. And then a whole bunch of variant cards and variant scenarios for the 4 games, plus a sort of a campaign game, a way to put a couple of games together. So it's a huge package. Just comes, of course, in a Ziploc. But I managed to get it all punched out and get it all to fit into my my British Way box, because I think probably because I think I took the insert out of the British Way box when I first had it. So anyway, that's all I have for new games, which is we're talking about being in trouble from your wife. Well, there you go. I only had two in the last 2 weeks, so I'm not in trouble that way. All right. Well, uh, it's just about time for to do the topic. I'm going to try something new tonight. It should look just the same on your end, but we will see if we'll see if I can make it work on this end. I set up the slideshow in a different way this week, which saved me a bunch of time on my end, and hopefully it works exactly the same on your end, and I'm not left with no slideshow or something. Anyway, so we're going to. Oh yeah, thanks. Thank you, Greg Company. Yes, good time to hit the like button. As I said before, Greg Compass Games is a bit underrepresented in my collection, given how big their catalog is. I think that's partly because I have no relationship with them as a publisher the way I do with so many other publishers. I haven't interviewed Bill. Watching him rant on his live stream has made me a bit wary. And while I subscribe to their newsletter and press releases, I don't think they're really aware of me at all. They don't ever contact me with news or information the way some publishers do. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're East Coast. I'm friendly with a lot more West Coast publishers, and maybe it's an East Coast thing. I have a similar non-relationship with MMP, despite owning basically a metric ton of their games. But I don't know. That doesn't really make sense because I've got really good relationships with a bunch of European publishers too. So I don't know. I don't know what it is about Compass and MMP. Just for whatever reason. I'm just not in contact with those guys. Anyway, so I go by their website. I filtered it for in-stock games. I sorted it by popularity with no real understanding of how they calculate popularity. And then I added on a few Compass games that I have that are not listed as in stock anymore. So I put them in alphabetical order. So if there's a game you want to talk about, wait till you think I've missed it and then just jump in and we'll talk about it. And by the way, I alphabetize properly, discounting articles like "a," and "the." You know, if you're old like me and used to go to the record store, you didn't look for the Rolling Stones and the Beatles under the T's. You looked for them under the R's and the B's. It's computers that have screwed that up. But anyway, okay, let's see if I can't make this all work. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. All right, well, here's the first one. This is one I have in my collection. I'm not going to say too much about this. 1812 War on the Great Lakes Frontier. I've talked about this a few. Don't say that. I got to cross the border pretty soon, and I'm pro Trump. I'm pro MAGA. I'm pro ICE. I'm really anxious to come down there and celebrate the U.S. when I get down to Minnesota. Anyway, I'm not going to say much about this game other than of all my Compass games, this is actually one of my favorite ones. I'm sure I must have talked about this one when we talked about games that have slid under the radar somehow, because I think this game never got the amount of attention it deserves. All right, that's the only one in the numbers. Now on to the A's. This is apparently one of their most popular games that's in still published. This is one of their. They do a lot of remakes of older out of print games, which is great because especially now, I think more than ever they're doing really good versions of these what they call designer editions. I don't own this one. I never owned the original Jedco Africa campaign, but if you were a diehard Russian campaign fan, you probably bought this back in the day, and if you're into it now, you're probably buying it again to get the deluxe edition. I probably would play it. I'm such a sucker for North African games. I just haven't got around to that one. This one, on the other hand, is this is another one, Designer's Signature Edition. Aaron Armour, Bruce Maxwell. I was never a Cold War gone hot guy or a modern war guy well, for most of my wargaming, most of my time in the hobby, I haven't been um, a fan of those sorts of things. But I'd have to say, in the last 2 or 3 years, I've played a few more of those things. I played Second Fleet, the old Second Fleet game, and I played I I've played the first 4 or 5 scenarios in what's it called, Red Strike from VUCA. So I've been getting into it a little bit, but it's it's still not my thing. Now we're going to see a bunch of solo games on this list, and yeah, you all know that I'm not a huge solo gamer, although I'm becoming a little more of one. But no surprise that on their most popular list, there's going to be a bunch of solo games. There's going to be a bunch of Gregory M. Smith games as well, of course. I haven't played this one at all, but well, yeah, I don't have anything to say about it other than there it is. It's on the list, and yeah. Now, as we go through these, if there's ones that I haven't played or that you think are like, this is a great game, everybody should play it, just speak up, because that's part of what I want to do tonight. Is I got a list of, I don't know, 45 games, something like that, and I just want to highlight. I want us all to just highlight which ones are actually worth playing or getting, because we can't all buy them all, right? There's a lot of games on this list that I don't own, obviously. This one I do. John Gorkowski's. This is his Red Poppies campaigns series. I haven't played it yet, and I don't know if any of the other volumes are going to show up on this list, but just earlier this year, somebody was selling all 3 volumes used on, I think it was on the Canadian buy and sell list on BGG, and I'd heard good things about this series, so I snapped them up used and got them at a decent price. Just haven't got to playing them yet, but I look forward to it. I always like World War I stuff, so I'm guessing they'll be right up my alley. Atlantic Sentinels, another solitaire game, another solitaire game that I don't own, another solitaire game by Gregory M. Smith. I don't know how many more of these I put of his in, but there's quite a few on this list. It's a cool topic. If it was Atlantic Sentinels, North Atlantic Convoy Escort, and it was a 2-player game, there's a good chance I would have bought it, because it's a topic that interests me. And I'm not saying I'll never buy it just because it's a solo game. It's just farther down my list because it's a solo game. And that's just my. It's not. I don't hate solo games. I just don't enjoy them as much as 2-player games. Part of what I like about 2-player games is hanging out with the other person, but I also like, in terms of the gameplay, part of the fun is when they jump on your mistakes or when you jump on their mistakes. And so often with solo systems, it's less like they make sort of mistakes. It's more of a, I don't know. It depends on the solo system. Some are more surprising than others. I'll say that. Anyway, this is a game I don't own, but I had heard good things about. Even though now this is it's supposed to be very light. I think it says in the little blurb about it that it's like a tile placing sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much. I just remember hearing a few people say that this was a game that was worth getting, and who knows? I don't know much about it, but I've heard good things about it, and so that it's on my list, and obviously it's on their list because it's on their most popular list. This is one I do own. This is set during the final century of the Roman Empire. This is one of the ones I haven't played. But this is one of those times when somebody totally sold me on a game. I was at San Diego. No, I was at Weekend at the Warehouse West, GMT West, one year, and Justin Facino, Justagard, if you might follow him on YouTube. He was there, and he was just he was just brimming with praise for this Barbarian of the Gates. He loved it. I mean, he's a big fan of the period for sure. He's as you can tell from his design. But anyway, he was singing the praise of this so high that I decided I had to grab a copy, and I think I managed to get this one in a trade or used, because I definitely didn't get it when it first came out. Still don't know if Justin was right. I bet he was. Justin's a smart guy. Quite like that. Quite like him. Oh, there's going to be a few of these Adam Starkweather games come up on the list. This is this is his operational scale system, his OSS system, which I think is the system he came up with when he left MMP and quit doing the Grand Tactical system. I think this is kind of a similar system that he brought over to Compass, and now I think he's moved away from Compass, and he's got another system that's got another name, but it's set at the same scale. I think, not sure. Anyway, this is the OSS system, and this is a series of games that were hypothetical, I think. So that's really not up my alley much at all. I'm not much of a alt history guy, but there you go. It's on the big list of games that people like. So who knows? It could be that it's not actually the games that people like. It could be it's the games that Compass has a lot in their warehouse and they're trying to sell. Who knows? There's no indication of what popularity actually means on their website. And I think another good a good way to think of popularity is all the ones that are out of print are probably the really popular ones. Anyway, there we go. Bitter Woods. Probably a ton of you of that. It's been through a variety of publishers. I didn't buy it back when it was in the last chunk of games published by Avalon Hill in the mid to late 90s. But this is a designer edition. Randy Heller. This is his kind of magnum opus. I don't know how many other games Randy's actually designed. I don't know him at all. But this one's certainly been around and stood the test of time. I own it, still haven't played it, but I feel like I should apologize for that every time I say it. But we're going to say it again on this one as well. This is another alt history, not alt history. This is possible history. This is future. Well, it's funny. This game came out. The original version of this came out, the 1.0 came out quite a while ago, because this game, when it came out, was simulating a possible future confrontation between the US and China in the South China Sea around the year 2020. So it was set in the future, and now we're past the future. It's supposed to be a great game. I got it. I haven't played it, and it's only I bought it in a lot. I bought a box lot of used games, and it was in it. And I thought I'd either trade it away or maybe play it sometime. So we'll see. If anybody's dying to own a copy, I guess they should hit me up and maybe we can make a trade. But I don't know. It's supposed to be a good game. So who knows? This I do own and I have played. This Civil War Brigade scale. There's 4 games in here: Antietam, South Mountain, Mill Springs, and Bloody Valverde. Out west, you don't very often get scenarios set out west in American Civil War games. This is an interesting one. I'm surprised. This is one of those ones I'm surprised it hasn't done better. I know that it's sort of between Blind Swords, Black Swan, uh, GBACW, and GCACW. There's all these, really beloved series, and some of those series are beloved by me as well. But it feels like they take up all the air in the the air in the American Civil War uh, battle game gamosphere these days, and it's hard for a game to gain traction. Uh, Thankfully, as far as I know, this one has gained traction. There's another one set to come. I think it's 1861, but it could be 1863 or four for all I know. I can't remember what the battles are in the next one. But I was on the one hand, I was glad to see another one's planned. On the other hand, it feels like I heard about it like 2 years ago, and it's taking a long time. So I hope it's still in the pipeline. I played this at BottoScon out in Vancouver last fall, and me and my partner there really enjoyed it. It was an approachable but a system that felt like we were playing history. It felt like we were doing what we were there to do. Here's another one. Here's another one that I've just put this one in, but I've got both of these: Brief Border Wars 1 and 2. I've got them both. I've played all four scenarios in both. They're by the wonderful Brian Train, who's kind of specializes in offbeat and forgotten engagements and things like this, along with his big focus on insurgent wars and things like that. These play. There's four in a box. In each box, they're sort of like the old SPI quads. They play like each one plays in 90 to 120 minutes. They're not long. It's not a CDG in the way that you might think of CDGs, but there is a deck of cards, and the deck of cards. You get a hand of cards, and each of the cards can only be used for either movement or combat, one or the other, not both. And that's the way you. That's the way. That's all. That's all that the cards do. Oh, geez, I missed a few of the comments. Dear, I better catch up. Yeah, yeah. Now that I said MMP as well, you're probably you're probably you're probably right, Dave. I could be in trouble. Yeah, it's this business of definite and indefinite articles. It's nice to see the Vassal module archive has now got a nice search function, because it used to drive me crazy when I'd go looking for a Vassal module, and every module that started with "the" would be in the T's. It was crazy. It's like I just thought, have these people never been to school? I mean, didn't we learn to alphabetize, like, I don't know, when we were in grade 5 or 6 or something? Yeah, yeah. I tried that one as well. The Red Strike, I played the land scenario, I played the air scenario, I played the naval scenarios. Those were the first three, and then I played one, I think, where you put the land and the air together, and it's like, okay, I'm going good. And then the next one was put all three together, and I was just like, okay, I finally hit the wall. I've got to get somebody to play this with me, because I felt like I've gone as far as I can. Ah, good to hear, Gray. Yeah, that 1812 game is really cool, and and it just makes so much sense doing the War of 1812 on the lakes, and just ignoring vast swaths of the country that that just never get used. It's the most interesting board I'd seen in a long time. Ah, so uh, American Tank Ace is good. Uh, I played Patton's Best back in the day, and I totally liked it. Back in 1985 or six, or whenever I played it. Um, but I've never felt the need to get another tank simulation game. But but there's something about them I like. It I felt I remember feeling in with Patton's Best. I didn't feel that it was quite so much charts unrolling and charts unrolling as B-17 Queen of the Skies was, that came out around the same time. Oh well, here you go. Uh, Christophe de Klerk is looking for a sequel to Wolfpack, which if it's the Wolfpack I'm thinking of, that's Mike Bertolucci's game, Berticelli's game, who's here tonight. So maybe he'll let you know if there's going to be a sequel to that. Sorry, I'm just going to catch up a little bit on the comments here because I don't want to make you think that uh, I'm not listening to them. I just forgot to advance them. That's all. Yeah, that's true. Compass is much better at keeping things in print than say MMP. Uh, yeah, they're probably even better at it than GMT. Oh, good to see. Good to see you, David. I don't even know if you're still here, but if you are, I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks out in Minnesota, where we'll sit around the table and uh, David and I and a couple others are going to be playing Crisis 1914 together. So that should be fun. Ah, good. So it is 1861, probably out later this year. Fantastic. I I it's a the other thing I should say about it, the 1862, the components are really nice. It's a it's a really nice package. Not it's not kind of VUCA sort of super deluxe nice, but the colors are nice, the counters are nice. Everything about it is good. Ah, Falling Crescent. That's not on my list tonight, but that'll be interesting. I look forward to hearing about that when it gets when hear people write the AARs about it and whatnot. Good, yeah, this is a good one to point out, Jonathan. Definitely, definitely one of John Butterfield's for sure, and one or both of those will be on the list tonight for sure. And so will this one be on the list as well. Yes, they're those Butterfield games. Well, no, the Market Garden one isn't because that never came out. But his first one is based on his Ardennes game. That was based on the he was part of that group that designed some games for Shenandoah. And they were basically meant to be able to be played on your iPad. So anyway, there you go. All right, let's let's move on here. Now here's the number one game on Compass's list, their most popular game that's still in print. A game that I have no no interest in. The first line, it's a Rage of the Witch Queen, so not my thing at all. I'm I've left my D&D and fantasy uh, time long in the past. I barely do sci-fi anymore. Nothing against them. I'm trying to keep my focus so that I'm not focused on everything. But anyway, this on the other hand, this is supposed to be a fantastic game. I've never heard anybody say anything but great things about this game, so I'm not surprised that it was number one um, on their most popular still in print list. Uh, uh, people, everybody that I've talked to who's played it loves it and says it's great. So there you go. Uh, someone just uh, someone just mentioned. There you go. See, people love it. Uh, Somebody just mentioned this Carrier Battle Philippine Sea by John Southard. This is based on his Carrier game from Victory Games back in the day, 19 in the 1980s somewhere, 1980, 1990. But Solitaire It's kind of the same game, but it's got 9 new scenarios apparently. So it's actually better than you're getting more than if you just tried to track down the old Victory Games one. Um, I have I have one of I don't have this, but I don't think I have Carrier, but he also didn't he I think he also had another one, not not flat top. I think John Southard had another naval game for Victory Games. Slips my mind. Somebody will jump in and tell me what it is. Anyway, I have one. I just haven't played it. There it is. Yeah, there you go. The the thing I always remember people talking about Carrier is that it was. Oh, there it is. Yes, thank you, Stephen. Yes, uh, yeah. Tokyo Express. That's it. That's the one I have. People talk about these games as being superb games, but with a fairly dense rule book. It's sort of one of those things where if you're willing to put in the time to learn the thing, they're supposed to be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, yeah. Dave, I didn't get. I've got the Market Garden, the Volume Two one as well. I don't have the Volume One, the Ardennes one either. But I did have I played the heck out of the iPad version back in the day. So maybe I'll be okay with uh, not having it. Anyway, so carry Philippine Sea combat. This is yet another solitaire game. Uh, um, this is an interesting series because I don't know if I put all three of them, but all three volumes showed up on this list. This was the highest. Um, Number this volume two was next, and then volume three, the one that everybody hates. Well, everybody I talked to hates the one that was designed by Adam Starkweather, where people were like, "Bring back the original designer," was basically what we heard about that one. Or at least that's what I heard. Maybe it's a fantastic game, and I just have a very narrow number of people I talk to. But anyway, people do love this game. It's a pricey game. I think it's like $120 or something like that. But you know what? If you I don't high prices in games don't get. I mean, they get me down in that I can't afford everything I want to play. But when I think a game, say the game costs $100, it's like, well, hockey tickets could cost me $80, $120, and I get that could be a single game, and whereas a single hockey game. Whereas if I bought this, I'd play it over and over and over and over. So, uh, ah, uh, Thomas, I'm wondering if that's combat you're talking about there. It's oh yeah, so you're talking about combat version three. Yes, I get it. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody, number three in this series was Market Garden, and everybody was excited about it, and then everybody just hated the. I think mostly hated the scenarios, but I could be wrong about that. This one is a game I know nothing about. Zero. I was when the first time I ever saw the cover of this game was looking at that list on Compass's website. This is the Spanish American War, naval war in the Atlantic, 1898. Um, and then the only other thing about it that I noticed when I was reading about it on their site is that it's rated complexity 4 and solitaire suitability 4. So sounds sort of on the more on the light end of things than I usually play. The What's interesting about it is I don't think I have any games on the Spanish American War, let alone the Spanish American Naval War. Maybe one. Yeah, I must have one. I must have one of those Fort Circle games. Uh, uh, Yeah, I think they're on the Spanish-American War, aren't they? Now I can't even remember. Anyway, this next game I have played and I really liked it. This Death in the Trenches World War One. This is the game. It's sort of famous for the number of events it has in it. Uh, uh, each year is divided into 6 or 8 segments, something like that, six. And there's probably 100, no, probably, well, maybe 50, say 50 events per turn. So there's just a ton, and some of them are larger events, and some of them are just tiny events, and you have to roll snake eyes in order for it to happen. Like um, it ranges all over the place, but it really makes for an interesting experience. And the game itself, the actual gameplay, the events aside, it has a really interesting buckets of dice combat system where you can choose how many dice you roll, but if you roll over a certain amount, your attack just dies. So it's one of those things where you can risk it and roll a few extra die to try and get a few more hits. But if you get too many hits, it's no good for you. That's it. You're going to lose. Interesting. We're going to talk about one of those games a little later, Paragreek, that's on the system. I don't know that system at all, but people really like it, and that's interesting, Jonathan. Dawn of Empire based on War at Sea systems. There's going to be another game, another War of Sea game, I think, on the list tonight as well. So. Um, yeah, so that's a fairly simple, straightforward system. Uh, and yes, Mr. Butterfield is always working on something. he's one of those great one of those great designers that never stops. And the other thing about John Butterfield, he also never stops playing. He's Whenever I see him at a convention, he's talking about whatever game he's got. But whenever he's not demoing his own game, he's playing with someone, often someone he's never met before. He's just like playing with other people at the convention, and not his own games, all kinds of other games. So there you go. Death in the Trenches is definitely is a two-player game, um, but I don't think there's anything about it that would make it bad for like if you're the kind of solitaire player like me, who rather than playing solo systems, I'll play a two-player game switching sides. I don't think there's much or anything in the way of hidden information in Death in the Trenches. So it would play. You can play it solo really easily, I would think. Here's another one I own and I have played. I got to play it again before I sort of decide what I think about it. It's an interesting game. I think actually, I think I have a picture of the map here. I'll give you a picture of the map. There you go. So it's your standard. It's your standard 1941 to 42 type. It doesn't go to torch. It's just you do the thing where you go from one side and back, and it's basically Alexandria to Algalia, I think. It was a cool system. I liked it, but it had a couple of quirks that I have to get my head around. The way it did replacements and the way units would be eliminated and then come back and be rebuilt. I have to look at that again. I'm not sure. It was definitely I definitely played it and then went, okay, I'm not sure about this, but I want to play it again. I definitely didn't write it off, and it could be one of those cases where if I play it again, I might go, holy smokes, this is a great game. I should play this. I should play this over and over. Speaking of John Butterfield, uh, Enemy Action Ardennes is, I think, not in print, so it wasn't on the list, but Enemy Action Kharkov is. I own this one, haven't played it, but I remember when I had a, I was happy and lucky enough to get to interview John Butterfield one time for the podcast, and uh, and I was talking to him about the system, the enemy action Ardennes and then Kharkov, and and he started to tell me about enemy action Kharkov, about what he'd felt like, what he liked about Ardennes and stuff. But he said when he started working on Kharkov, he thought it was going to be he was really looking forward to how much more open and more ways you could move, and how Ardennes had been so constricted. And I said, yeah, but John, that must have been just like more of a nightmare in terms of the designing the solo part of it. And he just laughed and said, yeah, exactly. He said, I didn't think of it that way at all. I thought it was going to be like this beautiful, more open thing. He said, I didn't realize that it was just going to open up multitudes of new possibilities. And it was going to be a way bigger project to make the solo system. So he laughed and said he wished I'd have told him that before he embarked on the design. But well, that's Christoph. That's interesting. That's enemy action Kharkov is not exactly diving into hex and counter war games in the shallow end of the pool. I mean, it's not that that system is super hard or anything, but it's not easy. It's not a beginner game. So there you go. Okay, well, maybe Jonathan's right. The reinforcements in Desert Blitzkrieg, maybe that system is a good system, and I just got to get used to it. I didn't hate it. It just made me. It just started. It put some questions in my mind that I knew I had to go back and think some more about. Here's another one I own and have played. This is a Mike Ranella game. Well, it might even be only Mike Rannella's first game, I think, was Shifting Sands, where he did World War II in the desert, and basically he took the Paths of Glory CDG system and made his own game in the desert in World War II, and that's perfectly good. That's the way people make games. You take systems that have been developed. I really like Shifting Sands. It's a fantastic game. Has more stuff about that theater than any other game around. But so then he tried to do the same thing in Western Europe. And this game got a bit of a rough ride. I have a picture of this one's map as well, because a lot of people saw this map and just they just hated the map so much it turned them right off the game. Yeah, I like the cover as well, and I didn't hate the map. I played this just once, maybe twice. Once opposed, once myself, and once with I played online with Judd Vance, and I liked it, but with this one, I felt it was a little more scripty than I'd felt with Shifting Sands. But I've played a bunch more games that are in this style since then, and it'd be interesting to go back and look at this one again and still see if I feel that way. Yeah, I bet you did sweat a bit playing it, and thank God for YouTube channels for those teach and plays. I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about all of them, all those channels out there that show you how to play a game or how a game works. I think I would have loved to have that the first time I opened the box on Rise and Decline of the Third Reich when I was about 14. But anyway, we dived in and we figured that out, and we got through it. Here's one I hear. I got recently enough that I don't feel bad that I haven't played it yet. I've heard good things about this, but a bit mixed. Like some people like it, but I think I've also heard a few things where people people have some kind of questions about it that it's like some questions that they wish the designer would just answer, and then they'd be able to kind of press on. I don't know. Um, yeah, well, we're in the same boat, Peregrine. I got the Kharkov. I got different versions of Russian campaign. Well, like I said, I got about 15 of them, but I think my game collection is uh, uh, I don't know, 720 right now. I think that's about where it's at. Um, so when you think of, if I only have 15 Compass games out of that many, that was, it feels like a small chunk. Yeah, Gray. It was early. It was maybe my third game. Uh, I like the cover as well. I totally like the cover. I like the cover the same way I love the Panzerblitz cover. They were those super dramatic Avalon Hill boxes back in the day. I loved them. And me and my buddy, we bashed through it. We figured it out, uh, the BRPs, my pal would call burps, and I think he wasn't the only one who called them that. I think uh, lots of people who played that game, that's what they end up. That's what they end up calling that little um, mechanic. So yeah, I look forward to playing this. I think this is two games in one box. The Little Round Top and Culp's Hill, like they're two totally separate games, same system, one box. I think that's what's going on here. This one I don't own. It's Grand Tactical, which sometimes is just another way to say it's a just a battle game, a game on a single battle. Although I think this says Dawn of the Italian Wars, 1495 to 1525. So it must have, maybe it's got a bunch of scenarios. I don't know. I don't know anything about this game. It says first game of the series presents the battle fought between the French army of King Charles VIII and the condottieri forces of the League of Venice under the command of Francesco il Gonzaga of Mantua. I said all that. I don't know anything about this particular chunk of history, so I don't. I don't know anything about this game. This was the second game that showed up on this list where I knew it was the first time I'd seen it. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, people say Europe and Turmoil is fantastic. I don't know. I don't. You say Europe and Turmoil too, which I think maybe is the one between the wars, and Europe and Turmoil one is the one that's pre World War One. I'm not sure about that. I'm just guessing. I haven't played either of them, but but I've heard both of those games are great. I just haven't. I haven't approached them. I haven't played either of them. Well, uh, I I guess I guess I'll have to tune in more often to catch another one of those rants. I'm not saying he always goes on a rant, but the very first time I watched the Compass Town Hall, he was just he was on a real tear about how he felt they were in terms of errata. He felt that Compass was held to a much higher standard than all the other war game companies, and that GMT got got a free pass somehow. It's I was just like, whoa, you're not selling me anything here. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah. So I had it. Yeah, one is before the First World War, and second is between the two wars. Well, I guess then, if you're used to it, John, if you know that he's going to rant every time, well, then you're ready for it. I was just a bit like, whoa, what the hell's going on? This guy's really upset. And I thought I was going to hear somebody trying to sell me some of their games. Anyway, uh, here's another one. This was the designer signature edition of a victory game, Mark Herman's own game. They redid it, and actually, I think Judd Vance, who I just mentioned, who's I should say is his cancer has come back for the third time, or I don't know if it's cancer again, but something really. He fought cancer twice, and it looked like he was going to be okay, and now things are not looking great again. So if you're a friend of if you know Judd and appreciate him, pour one out for Judd, and keep him in your prayers. Anyway, he was the one who basically got this project off the ground and remade it. I own it, haven't played it yet. Actually, I own this and the Victory Games version of it, and hadn't played either one of them. But it's got a really interesting. It's got this combat matrix, where the defender chooses a posture, the attacker chooses a posture, and then you look at it on a matrix, and that kind of determines how the battle modifiers are going to shape the game. I think Jonathan, you're talking about errata here. I don't know if I agree with that or not. Um, I feel like we all just expect games to have a certain amount of errata these days, and same as it ever was. For me, the thing that I'm grateful for is now the internet means, yeah, well, there you go. For me, the internet means that we can often get the errata cleared up within a day or two, because the designers or publishers are often online, and this stuff gets cleared. Although there's been designers who just push back and and don't clear things up. When you say, I don't understand this rule, they just quote the rule back to you as if the thing you read the first time was going to be clear the second time. Anyway, back in the day, you had to send the self-addressed stamped envelope, right? I mean, some of you will be too young to remember that, of course, but you'll all have heard about it. The old timers talking about that. Anyway, I do look forward to playing this game, because I think it's going to be really interesting. This one, I know nothing about. In fact, I wasn't too aware of this game until I was looking at the new Blackbeard game that's coming from Fort Circle, Volkel Ruhnke's Blackbeard game, and it uses this same painting. And somebody on the Discord server said, "Oh, why did Blackbeard? Why did they choose the same painting as this game?" And then kind of looked into it, and Blackbeard had been in production actually longer than this game, I think. For some reason, Blackbeard took a super long time to come from pre-order to actual delivery. I think it was one of those games that was kind of caught in the whole tariff situation, and it sort of took forever. And who knows, maybe there was also maybe Fort Circle got copies of it, and there was printing problems or something. Anyway, I don't know anything. I think this game is going to be more of a. I think the Fort Circle game is going to be way more looking at the historical Blackbeard Edward Tench, or whatever his name is. I think this is going to be more of a little bit more of a yo ho ho and a bottle of rum kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe this is a deeply historically researched one too. Well, that's another reason, right? They both grabbed it out of the public domain, and it's a great painting. I don't blame either of them. Um, the next game is a game. This is another one where I don't even know this series or anything about it. This is South China Sea Volume 2, Indian Ocean region. Same game mechanics as the South China Sea game, which I guess is I don't know. Is that the same one? I don't think so. That's not the same as that Breaking the Chains South China Sea, because I think that game is maybe Jack Green, maybe, whereas this is John Gorkowski. So I don't know. Uh, yeah, that's good to hear. I think I'm going to get a chance to play it in Minnesota here coming up, and yeah, like you say, it's supposed to be a quick play, 30 minutes, so that's okay. Thomas says the Compass one is freeform in the Caribbean only, and rates it is okay. So Yeah, this is Dave's talking about the Fort Circle one. Very light, but it's gonna have elements of that new system Vocal is going to introduce with Coast Watchers, where it's got the blocks upright on the board, and at certain points you look away, your opponent looks at a block and then puts it back, and you have not only do you not know what he knows, you don't even know where he was looking to find out what he knows, which I think is an ingenious an ingenious new mechanic, as long as you're playing with someone you trust and respect, which is the only people to play. Oh well, there you go. So it is Gronkowski. Or Gorkowski. I was wrong. For some reason, I thought that was a Jack Green game, but there you go. So I guess if I keep breaking the chains, maybe I'll need to. If I decide I like it, maybe I'll have to buy this Indian Ocean follow up. The only Gorkowski games I have are he's got a couple with. Hollandspiel. I think I have one or two of his games from there. This Kharkov Battles uses the Fall Blau basic rules to cover the first and third battles of Kharkov, and I don't have Fall Blau. I owned this game temporarily. It was another one that I got in one of those box lots. But as I had never played the original game, I sold it on or traded it or whatever. Oh, well, there you go. Thomas says Breaking the Chains is outstanding. So that's fantastic. Well, um, okay. Then, you know, that's, you're right. It could be a problem. I was going to say who bumps the table, but, you know, the older I get, the more likely I am to bump the table. We'll see. I know. I do. So you say they fall over pretty easily. I remember. I think I did an unboxing on that game, and the boxes, the blocks fit in little recessed spots on the board. But I guess according to Dave, that doesn't save them from falling over. So if I play this at SD Hist North, I'll try and maintain a wide perimeter around the table so nobody knocks my knocks my blocks over. Here's one a lot of you will have played or own. I think I think this has been in multiple versions. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Really beautiful. Those those boards that are, it's like they're two-ply boards with cutouts on the top ply to make little spots for things to fit. Really cool. Anyway, apparently doesn't keep the blocks from falling over, which is too bad because Dave is always knocking over the table apparently, and now I feel like I will as well. The Last Gamble, Danny Parker. Danny Parker is kind of bulge. The artisan is that's his thing. I think I made a note here. He's done 6 different games on the bulge alone. So Danny Parker is sort of he's the bulge expert in many ways. Yeah, I don't own it. I've got no desire to own it. It just it looks just big, just too big for me. Right. Yeah. So yeah, Stefan says earlier game was Hitler's Last Gamble, and Jonathan points out that it's a reworking of Hitler's Last Gamble with experienced mission creep. Yeah, it just looks so damn big, and I've got nothing against the bulge, but it's not one of those. It's not one of those battles that makes me, if you think sort of bulge Waterloo and Gettysburg are probably the 3 battles that are most have the most games about those three individual battles in my hobby. And even though I'm a huge World War II gamer, um, out of those three battles, the Bulge is the one that interests me the most for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't played the game yet. That's going to make me want to want to keep diving into Bulge games over and over and over. But not so far, and especially not big ones. Uh, the one we were talking about earlier, the John Butterfield World War II Commander Volume One. That's probably more my more my speed these days. This is two games in one box as well, sort of like when we talked about earlier tonight. I don't know these games. Stephen Rue or Rua. I don't know that designer at all. I don't know anything about these games. Uh, it's, yeah, it's. I mean, it's other than it's two games about trying to get to Richmond. But yeah, I haven't talked to anybody who's played these. I haven't read anything about them, so I don't. I I don't know whether to recommend them or talk about them, or if anybody has played them, speak up and we'll cycle back to them. But that's it. Same with this one. This is this is a grand strategic moderate complexity game of World War II Europe, which is interesting. That's a subject I'm usually pretty interested in, and yet this particular grand strategic World War II game, I've never seen on the table. I of course I know the word, but I knew that it was a I knew that there was a game called Liebenstrom, but I never knew much about it, and I still don't. So uh, if anybody thinks that this is is worthy of playing instead of Axis Empires or any of your other favorite grand strategic games, let me know, because uh, I always I do like World War II grand strategic. Here's another one of those Red Poppies games. So and yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Like I said, I bought all three of them, got a good price, very happy to have them, but now I have to work my way through it. I do know one. I was very happy when I bought them. I I think I posted about it, and Volko Runke posted how much he had been recently playing the first volume, and he really loved the system. So that made me feel like, oh, good, I'm glad I bought these. We're going to get to this one. We're going to get this one later for sure, as it's a W. But yeah, I think you're quite right, and and I will say that map is amazing. I was really looking forward to that game because I remember when Gilbert Collins first talked about the game. He talked about trying to do an American Revolution game from the point of view of the British. It wasn't going to change the outcome of the war or anything like that, but it just seemed like a really a different perspective. Much like if we do Pacific World War II Pacific War games from the point of view of the Japanese, I think all that stuff is interesting. Yeah, I suppose I suppose Lebensraum's not a word that I think you're in Belgium, right, Christoph? Countries adjacent to or near Germany are going to have a very uneasy relationship with the word Lebensraum for sure. There you go. So Jonathan really likes the late unpleasantness. Fast playing point to point, covering the two attacks on Richmond. Oh, passed away a couple months before its release. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, especially if it's a wonderful game. Well, I'll have to look. I'll have to look into that one. That point to point games I quite like. That's great. no problem, no problem at all. I just I know that it's got to be in the slides here somewhere because I do own that game War from America, and we can talk about it for sure in a bit. Uh, here's a game I don't know. This is uh, the the Little Land. Uh, it's it says it's the first game in the Nemesis series covering uh, company level battles on the Eastern Front. Again, Adam Starkweather, who loves doing company level things. He's got a ton of company level series. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows more what's going on with Adam Starkweather these days. I know he's got a big new game coming out that's going to go on a Kickstarter, and it's $300, which made us all drop our jaws and our drawers a bit, I suppose. But I don't know, like, because he's publishing that one on his own. I don't know what his relationship with Compass is. Still, he had all these other like OSS and this Nemesis series and before that he had CSS or whatever. I don't know if those series are things that you're going to return to with Compass or not. If you've got any info on that, jump in the chat and let me know. Not that it makes any difference to me. Just I just like to know so I'm not totally misinformed. This Maori. So this is basically this is a game I think set pre-colonization in New Zealand. So it's indigenous clan warfare in New Zealand. I haven't seen this game. This is Kevin McPartland, who's a guy that probably a really nice guy, but I well, let me say this: he often seems to pick topics that are on cultures that are vastly different from his own, where it doesn't seem like there's that he has a lot of input from people that belong to that culture. I think that's maybe that's the easiest way I can say it. He's got a game. I think he's got a game coming out. Actually, maybe from Compass on the Irish. I think it's him who's doing the one on the Irish potato famine. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's I don't know. He's probably a great guy. I'm just suspicious of when somebody's offered help or offered consultation from somebody from a disadvantaged culture about a game that's about the colonization of their culture. I think it's worthwhile listening to them, and he doesn't have a great history of that. Oh, look, well, there we go. We have somebody who's part Maori here tonight. There you go. I don't know if you've ever played the game. Like, I said what I think about it. I'm probably not going to get it, but yeah, I'm totally sensitive to the idea of cultural appropriation. I don't think these subjects are off. Look, cultural appropriation. If I wrote a novel from where that was a first-person novel about a Maori warrior, that would really be cultural appropriation, no doubt about it. I think anybody can do a game about it, but I think they need the input of maybe some Maoris and maybe and maybe some scholars of that history. That's what I'd say about it. Anyway, yeah, there we go. So yeah, he did the Great Hunger, which is really. I'm not going to buy that game. That game's about the potato famine, and if you've done any reading at all about the potato famine, a lot of it didn't have to happen. A lot of it was was caused by the British, frankly, absentee landlords and you know, that sort of thing. Uh, I think an interesting game about the potato famine would have been something where you pitted the poor screwed over Irish versus their rich overlords. But instead, apparently, this the Great Hunger Game is going to be is you're going to be it's going to be starving Irishmen versus starving Irishmen, which I don't that doesn't interest me at all. Anyway, so there you go. Um, oh, here well, so Dave has says Adam Starkweather and Compass aren't partners in the sense of him doing Compass games, but he's gonna at least finish the ones that are in development. And his new game is on Anzio. Yeah, that's the $300 jobby. That's uh, that's a bit that's a bit crazy. Yeah, I didn't buy Banish the Snakes. Just it just nothing to do with Kevin McPartland. It just didn't appeal to me. It didn't grab me. So there you go. Well, that's cool. Uh, keep us in the loop. Your handle is RPG Design. I don't know if that means this is going to be a role playing game or if RPG stands for something else besides role playing. You can let us know. Okay, well, on from Maori. Here we go. Here's the Butterfield Market Garden game. Um, uh, I own it. Just got it a while ago. Haven't played it at all yet, but I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be something where I can play it in a couple hours in an evening, and that's and I'll probably love it because John Butterfield makes good games. Yeah, yeah, Peregrine, Conquest of Paradise. People really love that game. Um, Again, conquest colonization games are it's a tricky thing. Uh, uh, to me, the best of them give a voice not just to the colonizers but also to the colonized. Uh, as an example, played a game recently that was Columbus's Voyages, and the two sides were uh, Columbus and the Spaniards, and the other side were all the indigenous folks on the Caribbean islands that he first bumped into and started colonizing. I thought that was a great way to do a game on colonization. Oh, great. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming around tonight. And that's interesting. Coin adjacent at present. That's yeah. If it's going to evolve, I think that's the story of every designer. Absolutely. Ah, that's great to know. Thanks for. I've never played Conquest of Paradise. That's fantastic. That's great to know. Um, a game with no European colonizing sounds good. Um, yeah, I'll RPG. I'll give you this kudo as well. Um, as Christoph says, anybody who designs games everybody here who's listening and watching tonight, we're forever indebted to all of you. Um, anyway, oh, here's the next one. This one, uh, I just yeah, it's not even I haven't even done a unboxing of this yet. I just got it from a Noble Knight. Uh, This is a repackaging of two Mark McLaughlin games, Army of the Potomac and Army of the Tennessee, both games in one box. And then I think what's happened is he's added in some rules on putting them both together and making a bigger game or something like that. Anyway, Mark McLaughlin is an interesting designer, always worth checking out. And I got an in shrink copy from Noble Knight for less than what it was selling for originally at Compass. So I thought this is my chance to dive in. Oh yeah, it is a chunky box. You're right. What does it say? Yeah, it says that. Yeah, uh, two standard size mounted maps. So yeah, chunky box. It's also it's heavy. It's which makes sense, right? It's basically two complete games in one box. So yeah, it is a check. It is a chunky box. It's at least 2 inches deep. Um, it's a it's a hefty thing. If you have to pay shipping by weight, it's going to cost a little extra probably. I do not. I don't. I've never played this one. This is one of the early Cold War Goes Hot games. This was originally published in the 80s, 83, I think. Bruce Maxwell again, who's got a few games on this topic. But this is a new edition or a redone edition of a game that's like a signature game for a lot of there's a lot of guys in the hobby for whom Cold War Goes Hot is their main focus. For a lot of them, this is the game that they first played that grabbed them. This was the one that where they went, "Oh, I found my thing. This is my thing." Yeah, I don't actually know. I don't know anything about it other than it was originally published by Victory, and but I don't know the scale. I don't know anything about it because I don't often play those. Now here's another one that I hadn't been aware of. This is Mitchell Ledford and Gregory M. Smith, strategic level game on the Eastern Front of World War II, and it says it utilizes a fast-paced, card-driven combat build system that's similar to Gregory Smith's Pacific Tide, which I do own and I have played. That's sort of we think of Gregory M. Smith for all of his solo games done for a ton for Compass, but a few for GMT as well. Just a ton of solo games. But he also has those Tide series, and in fact, there's I think Rebel Tide, the one that we talked about that I said was just out. I think that's a Gregory Smith game as well. Oh, good to know, Jerry. Yeah. Gregory Smith. I've sort of met him online once. He's somebody I'd really like to interview as someone. I mean, he pops out the game so fast. He'd probably about when I he'd probably finish a game in the time it took me to interview him. It seems he's so prolific, but I do want to talk to him. The only thing that makes me a little wary. Wary's not the not wary's not the right word. Maybe a little bashful is he's designed so many solitaire games that I haven't played, and I'm not much of a solitaire player, and I don't I have nothing against solitaire games, but I wouldn't want him to feel like, why the hell is this guy talking to me? He doesn't even play my games. So I should play a couple more of his games uh, uh, besides the Tide series. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so I said Rebel Tide was they said that it's available for sale now. So obviously it is. Jerry's got a copy of it, and it's playing it already. So there you go. Oh, speaking of Tide series, Pacific Tide just happens to be the next game on the little slideshow here. I have played this. I've only played it once. Played it solo, and it. What do I have to say about it? Interesting system, but I think this is a game that's. I think just about every Pacific game shows itself much better two-player. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly how the hidden information worked in that particular game, but there had to. There's got to be something. There always is when you're any game that involves any kind of carrier battles. You need to. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe you don't need it. When I think of Victory in the Pacific and things like that, maybe not. Anyway, I remember what all I remember about Pacific Tide is going, well, that's interesting. I'd like to play that against somebody. So that's all I can really say about it. Uh, um, but I think it's a fairly well received game. I think folks um, have comment. If you look it up on BGG, you're going to see good comments about this game. People like it. Here's one I have not played, and I don't really believe. I believe in the shelf of opportunity more than a shelf of shame. But there's a few games that I feel embarrassed that I haven't played yet, and this is one of them. Um, Partly because it's by a Canadian designer on a Canadian topic that is um, well, it's not an obscure topic to Canadians, but in some ways it almost is. Like not all Canadians would be all that uh, all that fluent in the history of the rebellion in Lower Canada in the early in the 1830s. Um, it's supposed to be a great game. It's that one that has I don't have a picture of it, but it's that one that has the green and red little cubes that make it. It looks like spreadsheets all over the board, but it's not spreadsheets. Um, anyway, it's supposed to be an amazing game, and I just haven't played it, and I feel bad that. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Jonathan says Ostkrieg was the first to use the Tide system, but Pacific Tide piped it in, released by a couple of months. Um, that's I thought uh, just because I've known about Pacific Tide for much longer and haven't really known about Ostkrieg as a game, I just assumed that Ostkrieg came second and was built on the bones of the other one, but I guess the bones were shared as the games were there to be made. Yeah, Peregrine's talking about Marco Poutre, who designed Prelude to Rebellion. The great thing about what Marco's up to these days, he's become a developer for GMT, and I think he's lit a fire under a few games that were sort of languishing there. And if you've ever run across him online, you get the feeling that he's a guy that is really a stickler for detail. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean he's quite exacting, and so I think he'd be a great guy to have as a developer. And also, I think he was the developer on. I think he was the developer on Bayonets and Tomahawks, which is one of my favorite games from the last 5 years. So there you go. Yeah, yeah, it is one of the most Canadian games you've ever seen for sure, and from part of the country that I don't have much. I mean, I've been to, but I don't have much relationship to. But Prairie of Flame, that's that's me. That's my part of the country. Yeah, that's right. Prelude to Rebellion. That's obscure history to every Canadian outside of Quebec. Even that's absolutely. Yeah, that would be. I would. I would like to see. I would like to see that. Somebody should jump on it. Actually, Marco should maybe jump on it. Yeah, yes, great. So he did the second edition of Mr. President, which is apparently a huge fix-up job. And I think I might have even mentioned it last time, or maybe it was on the podcast. I think he's lit a fire under the another series that Alan Emmerich had been a big part of. and of course, Alan Emmerich passed away last year, and the series is languishing. And he's he's lit a fire under the guys that are remaining and working on it. So yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be a net big plus for GMT. Um, the other game is this. This is Mike Wilner designed this using Marco Putre's Prelude 2 system, but this one, of course, is on the Prelude to the Russian Revolution. Um, I own it. I'm I'm not as I'm not as stoked to play this as I am to play the original one. I thought it was a smart idea for them to do this to try and get that system out there. People who've played the Prelude to Rebellion say it's a fantastic system, and so it's great that they decided to, you know, Mike Wilner made a game using the same system, but on a topic that's probably got a lot more resonance worldwide. Other than, you know, there's always people who there's a ton of people in this hobby who what they like about the hobby is the fact that they learn about little chunks of history that they'd never heard about before. So you know, Prelude to Rebellion and Prairie of Flame are both games that'll help you with that. Anyway, yeah, I have this one as well, and I'll get to it at some point, but who knows. Someone was talking about No Peace Without Spain earlier tonight, and they said they love this system. I think there's 3 games in this system. Another one that doesn't use the No Peace Without title. It's got a totally different title, but apparently there's some plan to take the 3 of them and make them all work together or something. I don't know. I don't have No Peace Without Spain, so I've never played with it. Oh, that's interesting to know, to see if the Prelude system works on the if putting it on the American Revolution makes it sell. Who knows? Yeah, yeah. It's funny that all those little colored cubes on the table, they're not what's going to attract a your Grognard Hex Encounter Wargamer, that's for sure. But everybody that actually has played it talk about it being a really clever and interesting system, and they like it. So that just tells you that we should spend less time judging books by the cover, I guess. Anyway, haven't played No Peace Without Spain. Certainly haven't played No Peace Without Honor. But it seems to be a system that's got legs, right? It's people are into it. Oh wow! It's just called a pragmatic war. Well, there you go. I guess when they did it, they didn't think they were going to have 3, and they they didn't realize that maybe keeping the No Peace Without was a good thing. Anyway, uh, uh, 30-year war game. That's interesting. There's like Cuyas Reggio, and then uh, Brian Asklev's got a new 30 years war game coming out right away as well. So it feels like it's been a long time since we had some 30-year war. I'm not going to say that. Some of those games now we're getting blessed with a few of them. And then something on Frederick is great. Although I'm such a big fan of Oblique that I'll be happy. I'll be happy with no other Frederick games. I mean, yeah, maybe a new something on Frederick. I'll love. I loved. I loved the old SPI, and then Avalon Hill, Frederick the Great game, the Davis game. That's a fantastic game, and like I said, I like Oblique. Amabel Holland's game. It's fantastic, and it's one of those ones that more people should play. We're yeah, that's yeah, well trod ground. The over in your part of the world, Christoph, no doubt about it. Hey, look at this! Isn't this another? Is this another Gregory M. Smith game? I'm just guessing. It doesn't say so on the cover, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. This is one of those deluxe packages where it takes two games, uh, uh, Silent War and IJN. So you can be on an American sub or a Japanese sub. I think. Yeah, yeah, John. Asklev, he designed 1812, Napoleon's Fateful March, game I totally fell in love with. He's sort of on my list right now of designers where when he comes out with something new, I'll buy it until at least until I play one of his games that uh, tells me not to anymore. Oh, there we go. So it's not. So it's Bren Miller. It's not. I mean, Gregory M. Smith was a worthwhile guess, right? um, uh, Brian. Okay, well there you go. There you go. Uh, well, people always talk about Vassal as the a great way to play over distance or a great way to play PBM, but the other thing is great about Vassal is it's a great way to play super large games that you just don't want to leave set up on your table forever. It's a great use of Vassal, absolutely. Um, I've done that myself. This is a this is a reprint of a Joe Balkowski game, a West End game, um, and you can see the Japanese in the title there, uh, or right up there. It I think I think the way this works, I think this is not technically a Compass game, but I think Compass has a limited stock of these that they're distributing for this other company, maybe a Japanese company that has reprinted Joe Balkowski's West End game. I think that might be the way that all works. Anyway, Joe Balkowski is always worth giving a look to. I have never seen this on the shelf, and I never come across it, so I don't know anything about it. But there you go. There you go. Uh, Arab Israeli War game. I'm not a. I don't think I've played any. No, I wouldn't say I haven't played. I never had the old Arab Israeli wars from Avalon Hill. I think the only Arab Israeli war type game I played maybe was one of the games in Brian Train's Brief Border Wars series. I've never played, and that would have been on a smaller scrap. I've never played any games on the 7 Days War or anything. It's never grabbed me. It could be one of those things where when I play my first one, I'll be hooked forever. But so far, it's just hasn't got me. Here's another solitaire game from Compass that isn't by Greg Graham Smith. Lisa Smedman. I don't know her. Uh, this is well, Trench Raid, and you see Solitaire Patrol. This is on a much smaller scale than what we're used to dealing with whenever we play a World War One game. Uh, we, uh, we we generally do a grand, either grand strategic or at least um, at the smallest a complete battle at brigade level or something like that. But this is you get a group of 10 men. It's as small as you can get. Oh, this is great. This is great. So check out Jerry's Cardboard Commander channel if you're interested in trench raid. Yeah, so you'll be able to find out a ton of stuff about this game. It's got apparently there's like 12 different objectives and a bunch of like maybe 20 random events. So it's going to be different every time, that sort of thing. Um, yeah, so yeah, check out Jerry's channel if you want more info on trench raid and see a live playthrough. That's fantastic. Wow. Uh, uh, Tunnel clearing activities in Vietnam. That's an interesting subject as well. But it's funny because it sort of it resonates a bit with this trench raid, right? It sounds like she's got it. She's got a certain kind of focus for these small unit actions. All right, so we got a few trench raid fans here. That's fantastic. Oh, Jerry, does that mean out of your 10 guys, you named one of them me? I'm glad. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm still alive. And if you want to play me correctly, just put me near the back. And it's a shame I'm so tall, but that's the way it's gonna. That's the way it's gonna work. Oh, there, yeah, right. That makes sense. Christoph's a fan of Jerry's channel as well, so he's well. So you didn't make it, Christoph, but Grant did. I'm glad to know I'm still alive and kicking. I'll have to look up one of the videos and see myself in action there. So obviously, a few fans here tonight of Trench Raid. This is one even though I'm not a solitaire guy, this seems to be one I should put on my list as a possible solitaire to play because this one's got a lot of fans of it that are watching tonight. That's great. Here's one I do have and that I've played a fair bit. This this is the Commands and Colors system, which you all know of: Commands and Colors Ancients, Napoleon, all that stuff. This is the Tricorn series, so American Revolution basically. There's this. There's another box that has the French in it, and then there's another box that I think goes. It's a similar time. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could be mixing it up. Anyway, I'm a big fan of the Commands and Colors system, just as games, right? They're as history, they're not the yeah, that's it. The Jacobite Rebellion. That's what the third one is. Yeah, that's it. They're more games than history. They're sort of like kind of history, which is fine with me. They're great games, and I love how he's Richard Borg has twist. You know, he makes subtle adjustments to the system for each series, and this is my favorite one. There's something about this system. There's a thing where if you retreat in this particular, if you're forced to retreat in this game, the unit will have to take a morale check. If it fails the morale check, you lose it. It's gone. There's no other game in the system that makes you feel like you have to keep your lines intact like this game, because the thing that keeps you from retreating and the thing that helps you to pass those morale checks is being in contact with other units. If you retreat straight back and you're all on your own, you're going to have a hard time passing that morale check. Anyway, a great. If you haven't played it, it uses the second deck, kind of like the Napoleonics does with the masters and marshals, tacticians, and generals deck, or whatever that's called. Similar deck for this game. Really, really, really great. Yeah, I'm exactly with Jonathan. My favorite interpretation of those rules as well. Just love those games. Oh yeah. Well, here's I said there was some other ones. Here's the one that has the French in it. Don't really need to talk about it. I yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't. I think the Tricorn has the best retreat rules, but I do like I do like I do like samurai the samurai box as well. Uh, the samurai box has got that crazy set of cards that unleashes a little bit of extra chaos, which I quite like, and I sort of have a a soft spot for the Samurai box as well because it's one of the sets that my daughter likes to play. She doesn't. She's got no interest in playing Napoleon with me, but she likes Battle Cry, and she likes Samurai. So and we played a little medieval together as well. Although we both found that like incredibly fast and bloody. So we thought we were either playing it wrong or well, we didn't know, but it felt like scenarios were done in about half an hour all the time. Okay, we might be getting we're finally to the game we talked about a little earlier, which means we're. Oh, actually, I have another one that's out of order that'll come after this. But yeah, so we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is Gilbert Collins' War from America. When this game came out, there were some rules issues with it, according to a lot of people on BGG. And Gilbert Collins answered quite a few of those, and then he seemed to get kind of upset, and he just kind of quit. He quit interacting with the people that were trying to learn how to play his game. Um, I get it. I understand his frustration, but uh, I don't think he did himself any favors by abandoning the discussion about correcting whatever was unclear in those rules because it's made it feel like that game has languished for a long time. Now I understand there has in the interim because this game came out about 5 years ago, I think at least. I think in the interim somebody has actually had another go at the rules and clean things up, and maybe it's time to look at it again. And as somebody said earlier tonight, hey Mike, good to see you. I'm glad you stopped by. We're just near the end, but good to have you all the same. It's got a gorgeous map. I don't think it's Terry Leeds, but in my mind it reminds me a bit of a Terry Leeds map, but I don't actually think that that's who the map is by. There you go. Um, the Yeah, if it turns out to be true that somebody or Gilbert or somebody else has redone the rules and things have been sort of clarified, I'm totally eager to give this one a go. Uh, it's not only a beautiful map; it's a big map. This is a two mapper. This is an American Revolution game done big, and I think it should be interesting. So I want to give it an. I've kept it in my collection because I want it, even though it had a rocky launch. I'm hoping for the best in the long run for it. This, well, so game designed by John Edwards, saying it's the 1992 edition. Basically, this is a remake of the original game covering the War in the Atlantic, which is developed by off the old War at Sea game. This has got long and deep roots. Um, I I've played Victory in the Pacific, but I never played War at Sea, and I've never seen Victory at Sea at all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a tricky thing for Gilbert because, of course, as well as being a game designer, he's also has a YouTube channel where he talks, where he reviews games and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a tricky thing if he can he can say what he doesn't like about somebody else's game, but seems to be kind of sensitive to criticism about his own. But as Perigee says here, Perigee says he's got a lot of great how to play videos. It's a great place to go if you're trying to learn a game. Yeah, I totally agree, Jerry. Victory in the Pacific is a game that is like I'm terrible at it, and yet I'll never get rid of that game. It's just it's a perennial favorite. If I want the really big the the real Pacific War experience, I'd probably play actually not Pacific War that I just learned a couple of weeks ago, but Empire of the Sun is probably the one I'd turn to. But uh, Victory in the Pacific, I can play. Well, it's a little longer than it should be, but I can still probably play it in an evening, and I'll play that game anytime. Yeah, William says that he wishes Gilbert and Compass would make a second edition of War for America, and I doubt it's likely. But uh, what would be great, at least, would be if there was a completely up, like an official updated rule book. I don't think probably the I don't think the map needs redoing, but I don't know. Maybe if there needs to be new counters, then that's a whole nother level of upgrade. Yeah, Jonathan Dyer says that there's been discussions about that, so maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Maybe it does need some new counters. Maybe there was some things that were just completely wrong in terms of order of battle or something. I don't know, but it was such a big beautiful thing. It does deserve to be out there. I think you're right, William. One way or the other, I'd like to see it make it so that it's playable. Yeah. He's got his playthroughs are great. I totally agree. And as I I've just dipped my toe in the playthrough in terms of making playthroughs, but um, I kind of loved watching Gilbert's, and I also like watching Justigards. And what I like about them is how sort of loose, and it's like just a camera, and I'm doing this, and I'm going to throw some dice, and this is what I'm doing, and there's not a ton of huge production values, uh, but it's just like one guy playing the game and talking about it, and I enjoy watching that, and it made me feel like, okay, I could make those, because I I mean, I could make fancy ones with production values and all that as well. I have no trouble doing that, but it just takes so long, and I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze. I don't know that all that added production value gives the viewers anything close to the extra work it takes to create it all. Yeah, I agree. Justin's playthroughs are awesome. He's uh, uh, like I said, sometimes he's just holding the camera. It's like I'm sure it's just his iPhone, and he's moving things around, or it's just like at a set place and the game's right there. There's nothing. There's there's nothing. There's nothing fancy. It's just a guy who loves the game playing a game. They're really good. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, well, Stuka Joe does. Stuka Joe's stuff is fantastic, and but Joe does do all the extra work, and uh, but also if you've ever seen some video of Joe's man cave, for lack of a better word, he's got a beautiful big table. He's got a rail along one side, that's a rail for a traveling camera. He's got another rail that goes at 90 degrees to that, and he's got a camera in the ceiling. He's got basically three or four different camera mounts that where he can video all at the same time, basically, which is great. And then he on top of that, he just takes a lot of Joe takes a lot of pride in doing his editing and all that. And I got nothing against it. I'm slower at it than than Joe is, probably. So that's why. Oh, all right. Hey, Stephen, you're going to be at SD HistCon. Well, that's great. Yeah, I'll be the really tall guy. I'm about 6'6", and I'll say about in a way that stands out. So look for me. I'd love to meet you. Stephen, I think was maybe when I first. I think maybe the very first time I did a giveaway or a raffle on either my podcast or the live stream. I can't remember. Stephen was the first winner I ever had. So there you go. Yeah, it is hard to hold an eye. You're totally right. It is hard to hold an eye through steady for playthrough. I don't know. Like there's a thing you can get called a gimbal. That's like a holder for it that is a little more comfortable in your hand, but it's still it's still tricky to hold an iPhone for that long. I've got a multi-camera setup as well but I don't have that rail thing that the double set of rails. Joe has that, and Zilla Blitz has that as well. Uh, he's got it's kind of a double rail system, but Zilla Mike does great production value on his stuff as well. Ah, yeah, I thought so. I thought I remembered your name for sure. Yeah, that's we should. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Kaiser's High Seas Fleet. That's Gilbert's new game, right? And then you William saying that he kickstarted that, and probably Victory at Sea was like one of an add-on. Compass always throws a few games at the bottom that and says, if you're getting this new one, maybe you'd like one of these old ones. So maybe that's what he's done. Yeah. Yeah, it's, steady arm. I have a whole series of tripods. I have also I've got a ceiling mount. Uh, I have a ton of steady like great ways to mount all my stuff. Uh, um, Ceiling mount tripods. I've got arms that come up and over the table and will hold um, iPhones if I want to film that way. I've got a couple of Canon cameras that I usually shoot my video through, but I shoot bits through iPhones as well sometimes, because the iPhone kicks out beautiful sharp images, no doubt about it. Uh, and yeah, yeah. The thing is, if you're gonna I like I said, I like Justagard's videos, and it's probably because he doesn't jiggle around too much. His he kind of he is holding it, but it's he's not constantly looking around or wiggling. It's if you're gonna handhold a camera, you have to always keep in your mind the viewer's eyes. That's the thing, right? It's I think all of us who do this sort of thing, we're amateurs. We do this as hobbies, and it's really easy to focus on what you're doing, but it's really important to focus on who the audience is, who you're doing it for, who's going to see it, who's going to listen to it. I know when I first started doing my podcast, um, I did it partly because some of my favorite podcasts were had kind of petered out and were going away. But there was also podcasts that I liked, but the sound quality was just so brutal and they drove me crazy. And there was War Games to Go. Mark Johnson's podcast had fantastic sound, and so I didn't know him from a hole in the ground, but I loved his podcast, and I wrote him and said, "Hey, I'm starting this podcast. Give me a few tips about how you keep your sound so good, because I always thought his was the gold standard." And he told me a couple things, and then I've got a theater background, and in the early days of that, I had to learn even though I was an acting major, I had to learn some design stuff. So I had taken some audio production courses and stuff like that. So I wasn't coming to it completely uh, blind. But but the thing is you, the person making the video or the audio just needs to keep in mind the viewer or the listener. And I think that's where it's easy for any of us amateurs to make a big mistake. Oh, here's another game I played. This I think this is the last one, good, which is good. We're over 2 hours already. This was a remake of three old GDW games. They were called Series 120. The 120 was a cute kind of marketing thing, which meant they had to have 120 counters maximum, and they had to be able to be played in 120 minutes. They came in sort of smaller boxes, maybe 8x5, 9x6, something like that. Smaller than your general Avalon Hill box. Anyway, Compass put out. They rounded up the three of them and put them all in one box, and they updated the graphics a bit, but not too much. They basically left the rules the same, and if you look at the maps, they do look like real throwback maps, and I mean that in a good way. I took my copy of this to a convention, and I was playing it actually with Mark Johnson, who I just mentioned, and we had it out on the table. I think we were playing the one that takes place in the Pacific, and we're just sitting there playing, having a good time. It's a really good game, and Mark Simonich walked by, and he's a guy who doesn't talk very much if you've ever run into him, and but he stopped and he looked at the map and he goes, "Are you guys playing the original thing?" That's like he recognized the artwork as being like kind of like the original GDW artwork. So I guess it is kind of that, but it's good, it's clean, it's really clear, and you know, they are what they are. They're games that can be played in a couple hours in an evening, and still give you that jolt of good old hex encounter goodness. Okay, well that's it. Well, it's nice of you to say that, and don't think that Jerry and I may come up with something like that. Jerry and I have talked about playing some upfront together, and then playing it live on Vassal, and then filming it in chunks and putting it up on either or both of our channels. So maybe you'll see some Grant and Jerry work yet. Yeah, 3 to 4 hour show on a Thursday. That's I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Yeah, well, there you go. And the great thing about Upfront, that's my all-time favorite game. So that's one thing. And then, of course, there was that horrible debacle about the reprint with that the Valley Games people butchered and kind of took a lot of money. But now that Wargame Vault has the print-on-demand version, anybody who wants to get a copy of Upfront now can get the Wargame Vault version, and it's great. And you're not paying the premium prices that you would pay for an original Avalon Hill copy on the secondhand market. Even though there's a fair number of them out there, they do tend to go for a hefty price. So actually, they've probably gone down a little bit now that the Wargame Vault ones are out there. But anyway, yeah. So maybe once I'm back from Minnesota, maybe Jerry and I'll get together and film a little up front. And I haven't. It's my favorite game, but I haven't played it in about 5 years. So it's gonna. No. I should have put Battle Hymn on. I didn't. So, like I said, I took their list of everything that's in print and ranked it by what they called popularity. And I got about 35 games, and then I had or 40 games, and then I had like another 10 on my own that weren't in there. And I think Battle Hymn, if I'd gone at like another 12 games, it would have been in there. But I should have put it on the list anyway, because I know it's so many people's favorite. That's I think Battle Hymn, that's Eric Lee Smith, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, I know a lot of people who love the Battle Hymn series. Uh, Granada. That's is that the one that's based on the Sekigahara system? I think that's true. I haven't played it. It's on the shelf at my local game store. I've often thought maybe giving it a try because I really like Sekigahara. Not the same designer, but same system. What we'll have to do. Yeah, there we go. Jerry and I we have to find a time when uh, I'm not away on holiday and he's not off. Uh, if you follow Jerry at all, him and his wife are off on his motorbikes all the time. He's never at home in the summer, I think. So we just have to find some time when we're both there. Yes, the Thomas. It should be great. I've been down to the one in San Diego a couple times, and it, it's it's probably my favorite kind of convention in that it's got sort of a really extra high percentage of designers and publishers there, and not with booths. There's no booths or any of that sort of stuff, but it's just a lot of demos and a lot of prototypes. So there's that. And the other thing is there's no tournaments or anything like that. It's like you can arrange games beforehand. It's a constant game playing, but the emphasis really is on playing games and having fun rather than winning tournaments or well, that sort of thing. It's a really friendly convention. Also, it's I don't know if all of San Diego is like this, but where this convention is held, there's you can't swing a cat without hitting a great restaurant to go and have breakfast or lunch in. So yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, that's what we'll have to call it. That's what we'll have to call it. We'll put episode one up on Jerry's channel and episode two up on my channel, or something like that. Well, great. We covered a lot. If there's any last games anybody wants to give a shout out to, let's hear it. Otherwise, it's probably a good time to wrap it up because what do we? It's 2 hours and 10 minutes we've been going, so that's we've had a good night at it. I didn't when I decided to do this. Oh, look at that! When I decided to do this topic, I didn't know how long I'd be able to talk about this stuff. So there you go. I did not know that there was a collab link. That's fantastic. Great. Well, we'll do that. We just have to brush up on up front, and away we'll go. Yeah, well, Dave, did you say you were going to be in Minnesota? I can't remember if you said you were or not. Uh, you're saying you look forward to hearing all about it, so I'm guessing you're not going to be there. Oh well, I know I owe you a vassal file, and I hope to get it out before I go to Minnesota, but I have got started on it, so there you go. Uh, yeah, definitely doing some interviews while I'm there. I'll be. I know two for sure. There will be more, but I've arranged to talk to Volko, and I've interviewed Volko before um, on lots of specific topics. I've interviewed him many times for things like some of these online conventions. San Diego does one, so do the Armchair Dragoons. Uh, uh, I've often had I've often had a topic where I've had Volko as my guest and had him talk about X or Y. We had a great one where the topic was hidden information in war games. But I haven't done I don't think I've ever done a interview with him where I just sat down and talked to him about things in general. And then of course he's going to be showing off at least three games at SD Hist. So that's all going to happen. And then the other person I know I'm going to talk to, because I've talked to him online about it already, is Wes Crawford from the new company Wharf Rat Games. He's bringing three games with him. There's two uh, that are kind of like they're a pair. One that he designed and Morris Suckling was the developer on, and one that Morris Suckling designed and Wes was the developer on, and those games are kind of in conversation with each other. And then he's got another game. This one's a bit wild. He's got another game that I think. Good night, Jerry. He's got another game that I think is tactical. I think it might be World War II tactical, but it might be modern. But the wild thing about it is it has a timer. I guess you can play without the timer, but the for the full experience, you play with a timer. And so when it's your move, you got to move quick before the before you run out of time. So yeah, that's those are the two that I'll do for sure. But there's going to be other designers and producers there. I've interviewed Patrick Gebhardt from VUCA before, earlier, but I know he's going to be there with a bunch of games, and so if I don't do a full interview with him, I'll do some kind of a catch up just to you know get some photographic evidence of the games. I know he's bringing. If you've played any of the Traces of games, he's going to have Traces of the Rhine, which is Operation Veritable, and he's going to have Traces of Tunisia, so a North Africa game. He's going to have both of those with him at the conference. So I'm going to get a chance to at least look at those, maybe play a turn or two or more. We'll see. But it'll be great to meet Patrick finally. Yeah, I didn't. He's based in Germany, so he's somebody I never expected to meet in the flesh. And there's other designers there as well. So we'll just see. But there'll definitely be some photographic evidence. I'll definitely. I sort of I will have to see how it goes, but I'm hoping I can take if I don't get a full interview with somebody, if somebody's demoing a game, I'm hoping I can do something like go, okay, I'll just like bring my iPhone or something and say, give me the 5-minute pitch about your game, and I'll photograph them and their and what they're showing me of their game. And if I could get a bunch of these 5-minute pitches, I think that would make a nice little video to throw up for everybody who can't be there. Yeah, yeah. Well, and the it makes sense. It's Herman. It seems like Herman has a game with every different developer out there these days. Herman's sort of everywhere, which is great because he makes great games. There's that's all to the good. Um, and Wharf Rat, it's just two guys. It's Wes Crawford and Ryan Heilman, I think is his name. I haven't met him, but it. I wish them all. I wish them all the best. I love all these little companies. Yeah, good. I'm sure you're taking about that, talking about my idea about. I don't know if I can do this. I'm saying I want to try it. I have no idea if I can make it happen, but I I I bet I can. I bet there's enough people demoing games that just want to get the word out about their game that they'll just do it. And especially if I say, hey, let's just keep it to five or 10 minutes, and then they won't feel like that it has to be any kind of a big production or anything. That they can just kind of give me their elevator pitch, sort of that sort of thing. That'll be really cool. Okay, well, that was a good night. Thank you all for being here as always. And like I said, there's a link in the video description for a poll I put up on pushingcardboard.com that says, "Hey, uh, if Grant could wangle somebody into doing a teach and play live, what would the game be? Or who's the designer, whatever." Um, go That poll is set up not just so that you can select one that's already there, but so that whatever game you're interested in, you can just write it in and hit enter, and it'll become an option for other people to say, hey, yeah, I like that one as well. So please go check out that poll, and let me know what to do next for teach and plays, because I really do think that these teaching plays are some people are really interested in. So why not do more of them? Because it seems like they're fun both for the people who come and show up and ask questions and comment on the quality of my play, and also a ton of people watch them afterwards, just sort of like the teaching videos that we talked about with like Justigard or Gilbert Collins. So let me know what you want to see, and I'll see if I can talk somebody into doing it. Anyway, in the meantime, have fun, and I'll talk to you in a couple weeks when I'm back from Minnesota.